Alright, here's our project for today. I'm going to be showing you guys how to wire up your 99-01 Cobra taillights to fit your factory GT harness. So that way it'll plug in, and I'll show you everything in the car you need to do, including how to wire it up inside the car, what wire to cut inside the car. There's one you got to cut so the turn signals won't come on when you press the brake pedal, and there is you got to put the flasher relay in too, and I have the correct part number for that. So we'll get right to it here and get these swapped. First thing we're going to do is we're going to strip all this tape and junk off, and we're going to snip, you know, as close to the connectors you can. We're going to cut those off, and then on your GT taillights you want to cut back here so you've got enough wire to go onto here. So we'll first start and we'll strip all this off and get them wired up. And the main difference right here is this is a 5-prong on the Cobra taillights, and here is the GT is a 4-prong. So here we go. Alright, I've got both of them stripped. This is your Cobra harness, this is your GT harness. And what you're going to do is these two green and orange wires, you're going to keep them together just like so, and then the one green and orange on this side will go into both of them. And then you'll just color match the rest, and you'll leave this green wire out. Go ahead and put a connector on it. Alright, now that we got them cut, here's your GT connector, Cobra harness. I'm going to take this tape off, and we'll strip each one of these and get them ready to connect them together. Alright, we've got all of them stripped, and that's about the length you want on them. So now, when we go ahead, we'll go ahead and connect these, and here's the pack of connectors I got. And I've got heat shrink I'm going to put on all of these, make them nice and fancy for Alex. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I've cut my heat shrink to size, and what I did was, here's our connectors we're going to be crimping the wires together with, and I made it just a little bit longer so when it melts down it'll be tight. You know, you don't need too much, but you don't want too little either. Alright, now I'm going to, first thing you want to do is you want to slip your heat shrink over all the wires so it's on there. And then you can start crimping. Crimp your connectors on. I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. Alright, I've got all those crimped on, and you want to make sure you get them crimped good and tight and make sure they will not come loose. Now what we can do is we'll match all the wires up and crimp them onto this connector, and then we can heat shrink them all. And again, this green wire, the solid green wire, will stay out. We don't need to crimp it to anything yet. That'll be, one of the next steps when we finish wiring the tail lights. That'll be the next step in the trunk. We will have to wire that to the third brake light, and that's where you'll get your power from to light up your brake lights. Alright, now that I've got the connector crimped to all the wires and they all match, we'll take and we'll slide these heat shrink tubes up over the connectors and take our heat gun and shrink them down. Alright guys, there you go. Doesn't take long at all. Just make sure you don't overheat them and melt your melt the cover on the wires. But there you go. I mean, that looks pretty good, and we'll get them all back together and tape everything up after after we get this wire in there. Alright guys, one tail light down. Let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, there it is. We've got both sets wired up and ready to go in the car. Now, when we put these in the car, that's what I've got this green wire for, is you've got both your green wires you left out. You're going to go to your green wire on your third brake light, and I'll show you the connector in the trunk. You'll just cut from there, and you're going to splice into it with this green wire, and you're going to come from it and you're going to go into this wire and crimp it and come over to this wire. That is where your brake light signal is going to come from, and I'll show you guys that tomorrow. It's dark outside, so I'll wait till tomorrow evening and we'll get on that and get these back in the car. And the flasher relay, I had to order it, so it should be here hopefully next week, and we can get that in the car, and I'll go ahead and cut that wire, show you which wire to cut, and we'll put something over it so it can't short anything, and show you guys how these things work. And I will show you the difference before the flasher and then after, so you will know. Alright guys, thanks for watching. What's going on, guys? Finally got a half decent day to work on Alex's car. I got the taillights back in it and just overlooked the mess in the trunk. We got a bunch of spare parts. But anyways, here's the connector that I put on, and here's the green wire that I said to leave. And same deal on this side. Now what we're gonna do is over here, here's your third brake light harness coming off the trunk. Comes down and plugs in right here. Now there's the green wire that we're gonna cut this back up to here, and we'll cut the wire off, we'll splice into it, come over here to this wire, join it, run across, and we'll come behind this piece here and come over into this one, and that is where your brake light will get its power from. Now once we do that, then we'll go up underneath the dash and I'll show you what else to do. I've got it all wired up now. There's where I spliced into it at. I've heat shrinked it and route the wire over here, and I routed it up behind this panel. And you come up behind it, and there's where they both come out, go into there. Then the other one goes across. I routed it, you can see, behind the panel, all the way across and to there. So we're done back here. We can move up to the dash and I'll show you what wire to cut and where the relay is. See if I can get down here and show you guys. Alright, here's your flasher relay. You can see it's yellow. We'll be unplugging that and swapping it with a blue one. And then, I don't know if I can see it or not. Yeah, there it is. Get this light up here. Alright. If you can see that connector there, there's a green wire in it. That is the green wire you will snip, and that will keep your turn signals from lighting up when you hit the brake pedal. And when we cut that, we'll cover both ends so it can't, short or anything like that. Alright. And then the flasher relay will be here next week, and when I get that in, I will show you guys and put it in and show you how they work. Alright, I've got everything done on the tail lights except the flasher, so you'll see that when she uses the turn signals, they'll flash a little too fast, but once we get the flasher relay on there, it'll fix that. Alright, go ahead. Alright, turn signals. Alright, so before we cut the green wire, when you hit the brake lights, it would light up the turn signals too. And I just cut that and confirmed that it fixed it. So there you go, guys. What's going on, guys? Just gonna update you on the tail lights. We got the flasher relay in, put it in the car and plugged it up, and they work perfect. So I'll have the part number and put that in the description, and here I'll turn the turn signals on so you can see. We'll do the other side. So there you go. There's a complete install video on how to wire up your 9901